Let's get salty!
Everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video, and it's time for the day one patch review. Prince Renathal's been nerfed, a bunch of Deathlight cards got buffed, Rogue got hit pretty hard, Warrior got 0 buffs for some reason. We'll talk about what the patch was like, and since there's barely any in-game content, it'll be mostly just, you know, what kind of strategies seem to be working, what people are feeling, because there's a lot of angry people regarding Renathal, including myself. I'll give a bit more of my take on it, and yeah, we'll go into some tips on like getting some stuff as well, as an event should be starting later today. Before we get into that though, I want to thank you guys. We had 62,000 subscribers. Probably do a giveaway to celebrate that, but I haven't quite decided on what yet. But if you enjoy our content and you feel like I've earned your subscription, please hit that sub button, get that number even bigger, drop a like on the video, it helps out a ton. And yeah, maybe I'll have like a Christmas giveaway announcement pretty soon. Let me figure that one out. But yes, Prince Renathal, the big discussion of the patch. There's a lot of controversy. Nick Deck Tech Weiss, one of the Blizzard guys, put out a poll. It's unsurprising that the Renathal change is polarizing, just like the card was. I do community sentiment reports every week, so I'm wondering how everyone's feeling. So just put out a poll with like 3,000 votes or 3,600 votes, and you can see it's pretty polarizing. It's pretty polarizing, but the majority were either neutral or worst nerf ever. The ones that are super happy about it seem to be, like I've been saying, the loud minority. But again, it's a Twitter poll, take it for what it is. But there's a lot of players out there that are pretty frustrating. I mean, all you have to do is go to the Hearthstone subreddit. It's just like, for the most part, people are pretty unhappy. No Hands Gamer, a prominent pro player, said, "I've never seen a Reddit post in such agreement about anything as they are about Renathal. Not mad anymore, just sad." And yeah, it's just about Renathal being nerfed. They did it, and just it sucked. For a lot of players, it sucks what it represents. You know, it's speeding the game up. There's no other way around it. It's going to speed the game up. And it's like the card, again, was popular, but not a power outlier. It was basically a way of rebuilding your deck. It wasn't so much really a card. It was like a different format almost. And that's why it saw so much play. And even at Worlds, where I think it had like 50% representation, to me is like, okay, you have like half the style deck, half normal decks, you have combo, you have aggro, you have control. What is the issue with Renathal? So I made this little shit post, basically how I feel about it. This to me sums up how I feel about it. The next nerf that'll be coming. This is not real, by the way. Some people think it's real. The coin being nerfed to 1 mana, because the coin had its run. It's in half the decks every game. It's popular and people love it, right? Like, that's what I mean. Like, it's a card that sees a lot of play because it's there in the game and it serves a purpose. And to me, Renathal, it boggles my mind that they want to take away something that is fun for people rather than just let them enjoy it. That's why it's popular. But I will say, day one review, taking a look at HS Replay. Before we dive into, by the way, all the the meta stuff, I just want to give you guys a reminder. Every time there's a balance patch, go into your collection, click in refund, look for cards that got nerfed. You can disenchant them all. I haven't done it yet. I've got a lot of dust coming, but make sure you get it. And also it was mentioned that if you have a signature, a noob recon, you will get 1,600 dust for it. They will be giving you dust. I don't know if it's going to happen yet. Probably when they roll out the new legendaries for they're doing that whole compensation for signatures. That will probably come at a future date. So keep an eye on that, but definitely go into your collection. Always disenchant nerf cards, because you can always recraft it later and you always get your full dust value. So check out the cards, disenchant it, and get your refund while you can. And also I mentioned later today, the Lich King's Call event will be ending and the Winter Veil event will be beginning. So there's going to be free stuff to get. I believe there's some packs, Battlegrounds, portraits. So make sure to log in soon and start on that new event. This is very early on. I'll have deck recommendations probably in tomorrow's video, but you can take a look at the class. There's a lot of green. Class win rate wise, pretty well distributed, except Warrior, which just got abandoned. I mean, I had to put this shit post out. Like, this is Warrior waiting for any kind of help. It's been like half a year since like the first mini set of the year when they killed it, Warrior. It's been dead. It's still waiting. They're waiting for more data. I don't know what they're waiting for at this point, but it is just dead outside of like Enrage is still not even one of the better options for a board-based deck. But outside of Warrior, everything seems to be doing okay. Deathlight slightly moving up because it seems to be playable. It seems to be playable, but not because of the unholy buffs, but just because Renathal, the 35 health, has opened up some room for Frost Death Knight. Superior David tweeted this out, got to like top 30 with a 30 card Frost Death Knight deck. Very non-interactive, very burn you in the face, but it's a playable Deathlight deck to an extent, although I will say later in the day, David also tweeted out, I'm not sure how I feel about the patch. I was enjoying the game this afternoon, but then I queued in a non-stop Thief Rogue and Big Spell Mage, which was back. Trickster didn't get nerfed. Big Spell Mage still is Belinda, but Big Spell Mage also seems to be running 40 card variants and all of that. But yeah, it's just like the lack of agency is a lot of just scams again. How's everybody feeling about the changes? A Ridiculous Hat said, I unfortunately felt this way until I stopped playing Death Knight. Class is okay, but we'll need a lot of refinement and probably new cards before it competes with top strats, because yeah, it doesn't draw insane cards, it doesn't cheat insane mana, none of the buffs did anything like that, and there's still tons of those strategies. Druid, like, barely got nerfed. I saw Theo get turn 9 OTK'd still by the whole Astalor thing because you could still play Bran and Nubercon Astalor. Like, you can still do 64 damage, even without Guff, as long as you have Innervate. So that stuff's still going on, but meta-wise, at least early on, I guess it seems a bit healthier. Well, it's really hard to evaluate after one day, but one thing is clear, Prince Renathal still seems to be effective. This is after the first like 24 hours, Renathal 40% of decks, 50+% win rate, because it turns out that 5 health might still be worth it and the extra value might be worth it. His number actually has gone up. It's gone slightly up. I'm sure Blizzard's loving it if that's the case, but yes, Prince Renathal still seems to be a decent option. In particular, looking at a class like Mage with Big Spell Mage or Ping Mage, they need to try and survive, and that helps. 5 health can do that, and Priest just likes the greedy value with control. Getting those extra cards can help out. Triple Blood Deathlight still kind of needs it. I think Theo was playing it all day, didn't do tremendously well, but was still competing. So Renathal, I don't think is dead. He's just not as good as before. So I don't know. Maybe the nerf is going to be justified after all if he's still good enough. But again, it's super early on to say, but I just hate what it represents. Talking about the other modes with Wild, things are starting to perk up a little bit for the other classes. Warlock no longer number 1. Shaman up there. You got Mage, Paladin, basically everything relatively competitive outside of Warrior. I guess Druid, but there's a lot of Druid's got ridiculous. You got Twig Sphere. There's no way that number is super accurate. And then the Arena still looks bad. I don't know if these numbers aren't up to date yet, but Deathlight Paladin's still the only top 2 classes. But I know that these numbers can lag. We'll keep an eye on it, but Arena might still be in a rough spot. I will say though, to end it all, that they want to like the meta to open up with the Renathal nerf, which again you're limiting options by nerfing Renathal. Doesn't make a ton of sense, but regardless, it is funny to me that at least the first major complaint I saw was from Superior David himself here, saying about basically facing old strategies. I even said, really open up the meta for fun new decks. So we'll see how things develop over the next few days. I'll have some deck suggestions tomorrow for your holiday climbs while you may be on break or whatever, and let me know how you guys feel about the patch and all of that. If you're happy about Renathal, you're upset about it, it's not as big an impact as you were thinking, we'll have to see. But in the meantime, I don't know, let's stay salty during holiday season. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.